leads to this Sunday. And for one solitary golfer in the field, today's the day. Today's the day that a new chapter will be written in major championship history. Today's the day that legends are born or amplified. Today, perhaps, will be the culmination of a lifetime's worth of dreams. Today is the final round of the United States Open.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour so proud to present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From the Los Angeles Country Club, live final round coverage of the United States Open Championship. What a week and weekend this has been so far. Everything you want in a golf tournament. By nightfall, we will have our winner as you take a look at the current leaderboard on this Sunday afternoon. And we've got a packed group at the top with a tie at 12 under. Meanwhile, our featured golfer still lurking on the outskirts of contention. 5 shots off the lead. This one starting a little left off the tee. So no fairway to start, but no reason to panic either, Frank.
Oh, no pitches on the scorecard, Rich. Just see what he can do on the hole.
And we'll have to see here. It looked like that ball hopped from the lighter rough into the heavier stuff. Par 5s, normally the easiest holes to birdie. It's a little bit of a waste unless you can come up with something of a genius of a putt. Iona Stephen is at the first green. This for birdie.
Yeah, and it would be easy to leave this one short because we're going back up that hill with just the slightest bit of movement from left to right.
That's going to scoot a foot or two by. Okay, that's in for par here at the first, and he'll stay at 7 under. The second is a tough par 4 measuring out at 497 yards. Bunkers serve as obstacles left and right off the tee, but this hole's all about the second shot, as players will likely be faced with a long approach over the barranca. The missed fairway at one didn't hurt him, but this, a much better tee shot as he is safely in the fairway. And how about that for a nice approach from way out? That one finds the green with a birdie putt on tap. Okay, not a bad read there on the left to right. It just comes up a little short. That finished off for par here with the second, and he'll remain right where he is. The third is another par 4, this one at 419 yards. It's a bit of a blind tee shot up about a 25-foot rise to the fairway, but it's worth noting that most tee shots that land in the fairway wind up running down to the left into a gully anyway. From there, it's another slightly uphill shot to a green fronted by 3 deep bunkers. Beautiful tempo to that swing, and this is going to wind up squarely in the fairway. Call it 74 yards here as he's set for his second. got that up too high and it didn't want to come back. That one in for a bogey here at the third. And he's going to fall to 6 under par. We come now to our first par 3 of the round. It is the downhill 228-yard fourth. The biggest issues to contend with here, greenside bunkers both left and right, as well as a difficult runoff area over the back, making par a challenge when tee shots miss the mark. And that one not on the green, but not in a terrible spot either, sitting up in the short grass. Now from below the green, a second up to this par 3. The green at the par 3, no problem. That is in from off the putting surface for an unlikely 2. The fifth is a long par 4 at 480 yards. Big hitters will want to squeeze as much carry as they can out of their drives because there is a slope that comes into play that can add a good 30 yards if you catch it right. The second shot is a difficult one, often off a side hill lie, to an elevated green and fronted by bunkers short and right. This one turning left a bit off the tee. Well, you can't walk out and drop it any better than that. That is a fine tee shot right there. Breeze at his back shoulder as he lines up his second from the fairway. We turn to Nota Begay III for this look at birdie.
And this is definitely coming from his left, just slightly down the slope.
Yeah, there's another one. Back-to-back birdies here at 4 and 5. And that's going to move him into red figures for the round and 8 under for the tournament. On to the 6th. It is one of the most talked about holes on this North course. A short par 4 at just 325 yards. You have one of 3 choices here. You can lay up short to the left, or you can go a little further to the right of the green. That might be a safer play. Or you can take the direct line over that coastal live oak and give it a go with a driver. And that one a little wayward. It bounds off the fairway and right into the thick rough. The lie is not a friendly one, but still a chance to get on in 2 with a good shot here. Look here at birdie.
And players have an option to take less break by increasing the speed here.
The run here, that a 3rd consecutive birdie. And he's got it to 2 under for the round, 9 under now for the tournament. Turning south, we come to as long a par 3 as you're going to find in major championship golf. The 7th hole here checking in at a full 284 yards, all you want. Oak trees lining this secluded section of the golf course, and players will have the option of landing their tee shots shy of the green on the short grass and running them onto the putting surface. This is a tough test. Still work to do to get this on the green. This is second. This from 7 feet. Nah, got it out there too far. It was trying to come back, but couldn't get there. That one in. It is a bogey here at the 7th. He'll fall back to 8 under par. The best birdie opportunity of the day is right here at the 547-yard par 5/8. Tee shots will most commonly wind up settling at the bottom right side of the sloped fairway, making the second shot the key. Most players will look to bend something right to left around the big tree and hope they can run something up to the green while avoiding the barranca left and bunker right. No problems there. That's going to wind up safely in the fairway. That one was running so hot. So now eyeing this one for birdie. Okay, nicely done. It's a birdie at number 8. And he's worked it to 9 under par. The final hole of the front side of the North Course at the Los Angeles Country Club is a par 3 at 171 yards, a good football field shorter than the 7th. Bunker short, left and right protect narrow green, featuring a number of dramatic contour changes. Gonna have to try and give this a good thump to fly it to the hole. Yeah, that'll do just fine. Had a pretty good run at that, and par should be pretty well within reach. Okay, good putt there for his par here at the 9th, and that finishes off a strong front 9. It's a 33, 2 under par. The back 9 here on the North Course begins with the 374-yard par 4-10. But this hole lacks in length. It makes up for in bite, as a total of 7 bunkers are placed at strategic locations, swallowing up any errant shots. And that, a good-looking shot there, well placed in the fairway. 75 yards, the distance remaining here for his second to this par 4. safely in. It's a par here at the 10th, and he'll stay at -9. What a par 3 this is, the 11th, at 290 yards. Depending on the marine layer, you get a spectacular view of downtown LA just to the east of the golf course. This hole's no slouch either. Like the 7th, it often requires a tee shot that lands off the green and runs on. Okay, that's going to make its way into that rough to the left, but this shouldn't be all that difficult. Now, from off the green left, this is second. This hole really sets up well for the player. Birdie yesterday, and a chance for another one today. This from about 10 feet. Okay, well done. It is a par here at 11, and he'll stay right where he is. The 12th is a dogleg left, par 4 at a manageable 380 yards. Most players should be left with a short iron in with their second, but as with the 11th, two jagged front bunkers provide a problem to be avoided and can sometimes wreak havoc with depth perception. Yeah, nothing to fault there. Good balance, good follow through, and a good start to this hole. Should be able to spin this if he wants. 96 yards left for his second. Third shot coming up now from the bunker. Okay, that should be inside of 10 feet. Not too bad. No missteps there. It is a par here at 12. And he'll remain right where he is. The 13th is a long par 4, checking in at a full 507 yards. This is another picturesque hole with vistas of Bel Air and Benedict Canyon. Most players will want to steer their tee shots to the left to get a better view of the putting surface. Up at the green, a deceptive tilt left to right means that approaches that miss left can lead to a very difficult up and down. And this is going to be in a good spot as that'll come to rest in the left portion of the fairway.
The strike was fine on the pitch shot. Ball first, then turf. Just wasn't really hit hard enough.
He has a 12-footer here. Nope. Now, you can tell the thoughts are elsewhere right now. You gotta get in the moment.
Time to move on to the next hole.
With the towers of Century City in the distance, we get a look here at the 623-yard par 5 14. This was by far the toughest of the par 5s at the 2023 U.S. Open, and in fact was the rare par 5 that yielded an average score over par for the week.
Errant tee shot here, Rich, but going to have to muscle this one out of the rough.
Okay, sensible play right there, and that one on deck. This for birdie now at 14.
And these are the putts he hasn't been able to do much with all day. This doesn't have a whole lot of movement to it, and he could surely use it.
Now a 7-footer.
Okay, good putt. And a par here at 14. And he'll stay right where he is. Part of the great design here at the Los Angeles Country Club is the variety of challenges golfers are faced with. Here we follow the longest hole on the course with the shortest, the 124-yard par 3 15th. Players, of course, will note the bunkers that ring a good 70 to 80% of the green, but the most distinctive feature is the bump in the middle of the green that must be factored in when deciding where to land that tee shot. All right, you take those all day long. On the green, chance for birdie coming up. This one's going to need to carry some pace with it. A long one for birdie. Back up the slope. Yeah, good putt. That's in for par here at 15. And he'll remain right where he is. The final three-hole stretch of long par fours begins here with the 542-yard 16. This hole was renovated to more closely resemble its original design, and its fairway connects to the 10th in a nod to the old course at St. Andrews. Multiple bunkers are in play off the tee, with two more up near the large green. No issues here. That is into the fairway. This is why you practice these shots from under 100 yards. You've bombed your drive. Now it's time for the touch shot. Zip one in there close.
It's just a touch too long. I mean, personally, I'd rather it be putting back up the hill than coming down. It's pretty quick.
Straight into the cup. Well done. That's a birdie here at 16. And that'll move him to 7 under par. On now to statistically the toughest hole on the course in the 2023 U.S. Open, the par 4 17 at 520 yards. This hole played nearly half a shot over par for the week, so just making a 4 here means you're gaining a half shot on the field. That is, unless you're Scotty Scheffler. He holed out from the fairway for eagle in round 3. From the fairway nota, this is second.
151 yards to the hole, pin in the back.
Well, it was either too much for breakfast or a little too much club, and that's going to leave a very tough downhill next one.
10-foot putt left. Hang on. That's going to leave about 3 feet. No problems there. That's a par here at 17. And he'll stay right where he is. The closing hole here at the Los Angeles Country Club is a par 4 at 492 yards, featuring the widest 18th fairway this side of St. Andrews. At points, it could be as wide as 50 to 60 yards. The second shot is a tough one, though, to a narrow green flanked by thick rough and bunkers on either side. Ooh, some big drives today. That might be the biggest of the bunch. This is where club selection is so important. Second shot into that stiff breeze. Uses the spin there and holds the green, but a long way home for that birdie. Yeah, that's a good putt. It is in for his par here at 18. And that'll be a final round score of 70. So for our featured golfer, Frank, in the mix much of the week. It'll be a top 10 finish, but maybe a chance to rue a few missed opportunities.
Depends how you look at it. I agree with you. Definitely some missed opportunities, but there's enough good there. So how do they show up next time, though? I think that's the key.
Till next time, for our entire cast and crew, I'm Rich Lerner. This has been a presentation of EA Sports PGA Tour Golf. So long, everybody.